Hello. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to dimension properly our ramp wall thicknesses. Now I'll be using a 3-tier abutment as my example. And as you may remember, in a 3-tier abutment, we have a staggered 30, 50, and 70 centimeter ramp walls. Now the explanation for why we staggered these walls and increased their thicknesses is explained thoroughly in the advanced design course. So I won't go into that in detail here, but remember, if we had a 2-tier ramp, we'd have 30 and 50 centimeter walls, or if we had just a 1-tier abutment, we'd have only 30 centimeter walls. Now this is also described in the Bridge Binder Volume 2 for design, how we have this empirical rule for designing the thicknesses of our ramp walls. Now, I want to explain this term here, minimum. So, because of rock size differences in country, especially in Bolivia, we sometimes come up with slightly larger ramp walls. So we might get 40 centimeter, 60 centimeter, and 70 centimeter, or 80 centimeter ramp walls. And most things on our plans, we want to be following our tolerances exactly to a T. But however, when we're increasing the thickness of our ramp walls, we are increasing the density of, or we're increasing the proportion of our abutment that is ramp wall, masonry wall versus fill. And if you remember from the course or the binder, the density we assume for this fill or slurry is 1900 kilograms per meter cubed. The density we use for our ramp walls is 2100 kilogram per meter cubed. So overall, if our ramp walls are going to increase into our fill, this is going to be a conservative construction approach. So it's not going to decrease our sliding factor of safety. And this is going to be something that the masons often will want to do depending on, example for you, depending on the size of the rocks for aesthetic purposes, for ease of construction. This is something masons might want to do, increase the thicknesses of the ramp walls. But as long as we're increasing the thickness, we are increasing the overall weight of the abutment because it is going to be made of a larger proportion of denser material, and therefore we are not decreasing our sliding factor of safety. So 99% of the time, this is going to be an accepted construction practice and not something that you need to halt construction and get in an argument with the masons about. It is definitely a discussion you need to have because the design is changing, but that is why we are going to be putting 30 centimeter minimum, 50 centimeter minimum, and 70 centimeter minimum for the thickness of our ramp walls. And this gives us some play in the system. Now, if you are going through your design and for whatever reason this minimum is not going to work, we need no more than 30 centimeter thick walls, or we need exactly 30 centimeter thick walls, this should be indicated in the plan set and something that is looked out for during the construction process.